Hello everybody, my name is Adam. I am the founder of Reset Hydrotherapy here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. We are a cold-focused hydrotherapy facility, so what that means is all of our sessions and services that we offer are surrounded and based on cold exposure. We were the first in Alberta to get the regulation and licensing approval to use this specific equipment for this specific purpose. So they are individual tubs that you sit in for only like up to 5 minutes, and they're all regulated like swimming pools, so we maintain our water quality and have very high cleanliness standards. If you've been interested in trying cold plunges or looking for a place to do it here in Calgary, this is definitely the place for you. People have told me to start making some longer form content, so I'm giving it a shot. I'm not the greatest at recording myself. I don't really like to be on camera, but I had an old camera from when I used to do some photography, and I figured I'd just dust it off and give it a go. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about who I am, why I started this business, and so basically during the pandemic, as most people were, I was working from home, this office job based in just downtown, so it was just a pretty mundane day to day, and I don't know, I just felt like I was in kind of a little bit of a slump, and saw this guy on Instagram doing cold plunges, and I was just like, you know what, let me just give it a shot. This was in the middle of winter as well, so our winters can get pretty cold here, and I went to Home Depot and I bought a little Rubbermaid bin, filled it up with water, and then the next day I went outside in the morning in a ski mask and my underwear, and I just sat in the water for whatever reason compelled me to. I'm not sure, but all I know is that afterwards I felt an immediate difference in my mood, and I challenged myself to kind of stay consistent for 2 weeks to see if I could do it every day, and I did, and I realized that it was a really good way to just kind of shake up my routine, and it was a good way to just kind of start the day and make the rest of the day go by a little bit easier with kind of getting the hardest thing out of the way first, and just throw myself a curveball because life at the time was just very depressing, I guess you could say. So definitely gave me a little bit of a eureka moment when I realized how much it helped me mentally, and then trying to find a place that I could go do it because I didn't want to keep doing it outside. After I upgraded from the Rubbermaid bin to an inflatable one, and then the winter was just so harsh that it wouldn't be able to handle it, it kept ripping, and then I got a heavier duty one with a chiller, and then again just doing it outside and at home just kind of gave me a lot of inconveniences, and I was just like a little bit inspired to make my own place for people to come and do it without having to worry about any of the stuff that I was dealing with, or the inconveniences, I guess you could say. So I had no prior knowledge about anything regarding the science behind it, or why I was doing it. I just knew that it made me feel good, and I wanted to keep doing the things that made me feel good, especially when I felt like the world was kind of being affected with the pandemic at the same time, as like it kind of caused a mental health pandemic, I guess you could say. We weren't really seeing each other, and people were staying isolated, and it was just not a good time. So for me to find something that was a good outlet to incorporate into my day-to-day routine really just helped me with a lot of stuff, and I was compelled to just make this a thing for people in my own community that they could all come and try. I had friends that wanted to come to my house and see me doing it on my story, and they were just wanting to come try it, and then all these things kind of snowballed, and here we are now. So never really took myself for somebody that would be doing something like this, but I found the passion behind the purpose, and I kind of found my why, and I'm here to kind of help others experience the same things that helped me. So yeah, I found the space, rented some rooms within this gym, Evolve Strength, here in Royal Oak. Found a good reputable company that would help me make these tubs regulated for Alberta Health Services protocols and rules based in the province for what we needed. It was a lot harder than I thought. We were delayed by like 10 months because of all the modifications and stuff that they kept making us do to the tubs to be compliant. During those 10 months I was still having to pay rent here, so all these things that just kind of kept working against me, and making it hard to stay consistent and motivated to see the end goal. But I realized that if something is worth it, then it's not going to be easy, and that just kind of kept pushing me forward. So we ended up opening in February of this year, 2025, and it's been going really, really well so far. I couldn't imagine being here now 2 years ago after coming up with the idea, but here we are. So I wanted to just start making some longer form content, I guess, to kind of explain more about the history and the story and the reasons behind why I'm doing what I'm doing, and hopefully somebody and people, you guys, can resonate and just understand a little bit more about why I am personally so passionate about this, and how the simple thing of just literally like sitting in cold water can have a very big ripple effect in the rest of your life. And in hindsight, I never thought that it would, but it did. And yeah, I feel very good about where we are now, and I hope that more and more people can keep coming and trying this out and sharing their positive experiences with me. And it's been really great to just see how everybody kind of takes something different away from this, whether it's physically, mentally, or anything really, all of the above. So we're gonna start doing some more filming with some stuff, whether it's stuff like this or in the rooms. I have a lot of ideas for segments and ongoing things, whether they're education based or trying to make some that are a little bit more fun or whatever. Trying to just get better talking to a camera. I don't ever want to do this, but I am starting to understand more about why I should be doing this. So I took the thermalist education course so I could understand more of the full science behind heat and cold therapy in general. I wanted to help guide people with real knowledge instead of just the surface level trends that are kind of going around on social media. The thermalist education course is a very in-depth training protocol surrounding the effects of cold and heat, how it affects your nervous system, metabolism, immune system, circulation, and it just gives you practical tools that you can apply for training hermetic stress long term, instead of, again, going back to just the trend focused short-term gains from these things. So going through the online portion of this course, it gave me a lot of confidence to help explain why these services work instead of just what they do. That was a big part of my own personal journey when I started. I didn't know, like, I knew why I wanted to do it because it made me feel good, but I didn't understand what was going on a physiological level. So doing more research online, finding about just different podcasts and books and studies that have been done, then it just kind of led me to Dr. Susanna Soberg being the leader in this industry, in my opinion, just because her whole PhD was built around metabolism, and she kind of focused a lot on cold and heat exposure and those effects on it. So I hope that this can help benefit other people for long-term life-changing practices, I guess you could say, because I don't like to be that guy that's just like, cold exposure and cold plunges are the best thing for you and the greatest thing that I've ever done. But they did transform how I look at the world and the way that I live my life. And it's not just about physical recovery at the end of the day. There's a lot more things that we need to be doing to train our mental health, I guess you could say, whether that's increasing your stress tolerance, your ability to just bounce back from your reactions when you are stressed. We are kind of faced with a lot of stress in our day-to-day lives. That's kind of man-made stress, and it doesn't benefit us evolutionary, I guess you could say. So going back to something as simple as extreme temperature exposures to shock your stress response receptors, and then actively learn how to bring them back down to a baseline, is something that I think everybody could benefit from, whether you are stressed out or not. There's definitely benefits to having a more calmer nervous system overall. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate everybody for coming and practicing these sessions with us here. I want to hopefully help as many people as I can, show them that there's more to cold plunging and saunas that have been around and been talked about. So again, I appreciate everybody. Thank you for watching this. I'm not the best at recording myself, but we're trying something new. So stay tuned for more stuff. Appreciate it.